talking to you guys about something called what I like to call maximum happiness. So it's something that we all look for. To be happy is kind of something that everybody looks forward to. And if you say that you're not looking for happiness, I don't believe you. So as for a student like me, happiness comes into the form such as my grades. Comes in the form of things like my grades. And good grades might lead to something like good schools. Good schools will lead me to lots of fame, success, power, riches, more wealth than I can ever imagine. But the question is, will this actually make me happy? And we're all doing this in school, and we're being so competitive, but will this actually make us happy in life? So I decided to try and find out scientifically what makes every single person in this world happy. So my journey started when I was right there, that is me, in China, and then I moved to this great place called America, where I am standing here before you today. And while it was a very easy move for me, it wasn't a very easy move for my mother. Because my mother, she had to sacrifice her family, her jobs, her friends, and any of her securities. So for almost 10 years now, my mother has been suffering in a very, very deep kind of depression. And so when I was younger, I decided I wanted to cure my mother. I'm not a psychiatrist, I'm not like a doctor, but I mean I can do it. I got hands. So I decided the first thing I should do is ask Google, how do I be happy? And Google responded to me. He said, how to be happy always. With pictures by WikiHow. So I went on WikiHow and it said, happiness doesn't depend upon who you are or what you have, it depends on what you think. Happiness is reduced complications, life is simple. And the last one is understanding balance. I don't really know who wrote this, but I certainly did not feel very happy when I was reading this. So I decided to go on a one-year journey to find out scientifically, proven by many universities, just exactly what happiness is to share with you guys. So I came up with 3 steps, 3 ways. And the first step is very important, and that is to have a healthy body. Nobody is going to be happy if they're dying of something like chronic pain, unfortunately. So I decided to look for solutions from the world's most healthiest group of people, which is known as the Blue Zone. Now, the Blue Zone was a phenomenon developed in almost 2006 by Dan Buettner, and he first published this in National Geographic. And the Blue Zones are basically geographic locations where these people are incredibly, incredibly healthy, such as Okinawa, Japan, Loma Linda, California, Nicoya, Costa Rica. And the average lifespan for a US citizen is 78.4 years. But the average lifespan for a Blue Zone citizen is over 100. You are adding 20 years to your lifespan. I'm not even 20 yet. So that's an incredible amount you're adding to your lifespan. And these people are dying of natural causes, and they're dying happily. So what do the Blue Zone people do? Well, first of all, they have a diet mostly of vegetables, there's less meat, many whole grains, and any oils are usually natural, such as olive oil, and Italians and Italians only drink a glass of wine every single day. Scientists are still working on why that works. And as for exercise, they're not looking for a flat stomach here. They're looking for something more of just moderate exercise, light walking, jogging, talking to their friends. It's nothing as if you're trying to get model status. So the second reason is a healthy status. Now, for someone who might be interested in art, you might want to think of going into the arts. And people say, if you want to be happy, go choose what you want to do. And something being like an artist, that does not earn much money, unfortunately. So the question is, will money actually make you happy? The answer is yes. By a study by Harvard and Princeton, 2010, they discovered that the happiness number is $75,000. Meaning if your annual household income makes over $75,000, that should be your maximum happiness threshold. And let me get into that. Because an additional study by the Council for Community and Economic Research in 2016 discovered that this is different for every single state. And for California, this number is $98,000. Meaning that if your household income is over $90,000, you have reached your maximum monetary happiness. Anything below that, money will make you happy. Anything above that will be no more money can make you happy after that. So yes, the answer is money matters. Lastly is a healthy mind. A healthy mind in the Maslow's hierarchy of physical needs, you have physiological needs at the very bottom, such as food, water, shelter. But in places like the blue zone, the bottommost layer is called belonging first. They want you to fit into your family first before you get things like food and water. And the longest ever human study by Harvard, spanning over 75 years with 4 directors and now studying their 2,000 children, discovered that it is happiness comes from relationships. That good relationships and belonging with your family creates the most happiness. A good relationship protects you physically and mentally. Harvard discovered that those who have very, very high relationship satisfaction, they discovered less health diseases such as cardiovascular diseases, diabetes, obesity. Not to mention their cognitive functioning remained extremely high. And this does not need to be a marital relationship either. You don't need to be married to this person. It can be a sibling, a brother, a mother, a best friend, but it has to be someone that you truly, truly depend on. As of now in the United States, the Harris poll in the Time magazine discovered that in 2016, the U.S. happiness index is 31 out of 100. That is the lowest the U.S. has ever been, with 2015 being 34 out of 100. Additionally, the University of Chicago in 2008 discovered that the United States, 1 in 5 people feel incredibly lonely. And the Brigham Young University in 2015 discovered this is an epidemic that is only spreading. And because of this, there have been higher rates of obesity, diabetes, cardiovascular diseases, and such. Happiness is incredibly vital to not only just you feeling happy, but also for you to be actually healthy and to live well long. So, in order to make sure you do not die prematurely of cardiovascular diseases, to go over what we said, we need a healthy body, we need a healthy status in terms of money, and lastly, we need a healthy mind. As for my family, for the healthy body part, no matter what, I will be jogging at least an hour every single day. You cannot convince me out of that. As for a healthy status, I'm not earning my own income yet, but I do try to work on my own part-time jobs. And while most of my money goes into taxes, well, I feel better anyways. As for lastly, a healthy mind, for my mom, it meant that I'm trying to connect to her as much as I could. Every single night, no matter what, I would try to think of all the great things that my mom has done for me. I try to be very, very grateful. Everything that she does for me. And whenever I feel like it, as many times as I can, I would tell her that I love her. Because to me, my mom is the most important person in the world. And all I want to do is see her to be happy. So I hope that today, you guys learned a little bit of something about how to make your own family happy. And so, I thank you for being here and listening to this.